Hello, my fellow YouTuber guys and gals, whatever. This is Ghost Stories Told from the South, and I am your host, Stephen LeBooth. And we got a pretty good show for you today, so sit back, relax, and let's get scary. But we're going to get before we go any further, hit that subscribe button, guys, and tell your friends about it. But I got some good stories today, so let's get on with the podcast on the audio part and get this shindig going. Hello, and welcome back to Ghost Stories Told from the South. I'm your host, Stephen LeBooth, and I've got some creepy stuff for you today. That was scary right out the front. Alright, I'll quit being a dick. But I'm glad you guys are back. This is Stephen LeBooth, guys. And this is Ghost Stories Told from the South, episode 111. 11. I turned it to 11. 11. Anyways, hope everybody's been having a great time listening to some spooky stories or watching some scary movies or something. Just keeping it spooky, man. Keeping it scary. Halloween can last all year. I love it. I love the creepy stuff. I love it. Well, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's been downloading, subscribing. The numbers are going up, and I appreciate it so much. Keep it up, guys. You're doing a great job, man. It's awesome. Like I said, I do this out of my own house and my own time. I don't make any money off of it. And yeah, give me a minute. I'm gonna move something, so if I make a bunch of noise, I'm sorry. Okay, there we go. Well, my cover for my mic was the bar was in the way for the YouTube viewers, so that's another thing, guys. Keep checking out my YouTube channel. I always bring stuff up on it. I always keep it up to date as much as I can. So heck yeah, don't forget to check us out on Facebook too, and on Instagram. You check us out on Facebook. It's Ghost Stories Told from the South. Like I've always said, guys, y'all tell me your stories or give me something to look up from your hometown, and I'll talk about it on the show, man. I love researching and talking about the ghost stuff. All right. Well, I guess I will quit yapping. I've told everybody thanks, and I appreciate it. Thank you very much. But let's get on with our... Now, today, we're going to be covering Louisiana. I got 3 stories. 2 of them are pretty long. The middle one's kind of shorty, so it's going to be about maybe a 30-minute-er, but who knows, man? Who knows? But let's get on with the scary stories. Ooh. Go here. Now remember, guys, I edit while I go. Alright, I'll put that song there. Alright, let's do it. Ready? Okay, our first story is the Tranquillie. Sorry, I'm tongue-tied. It's a sanatorium. Tranquillie Sanatorium. Sorry, I got tongue-tied. But it's Tranquillie Sanatorium in Louisiana. Let's see what we got in store for you. The haunted sanatorium is located in Kamloops, British Columbia, Canada. Oh, I'm sorry. 2 of these stories are going to be from Louisiana, and one of them is left over from when I did Canada. My bad. Sorry. Okay, in British Columbia, Canada. It was built in 1907 to treat tuberculosis, otherwise known as the White Plague. The grounds that the hospital was built on were previously used for ranching before the British before the British Columbian government purchased the land for the construction of the sanatorium. Originally, the faculty was named the King Edward. I'm not good at my Roman number. I'm not good with my Roman numbers, So I think this is like King Edward's the eighth, I think, sanatorium, and served tuberculosis patients, especially during the plague of the century or whatever. Okay, the British Columbia Society for the Preservation and Treatment of, anyways, the Historical Division held its very first meeting January of 1904 to begin the plans and the fundraising necessary to build an isolated tuberculosis sanatorium. They soon discovered a property for sale after raising $58,000. Now that's back then. They bought the land, and they don't say how much they paid for it, but still though, 58 acres. 58 acres. I'm gonna read it. $58,000. They purchased 2,000 acres. That was, man. I wish I could go back in time and do that right now. Shit. But anyways, where was I at? Meeting plans. Okay, cost $58,000 to get it built. They bought 600 acres from a family of earlier settlers, William Furniture. They also took over the lease of an additional 2,000. Oh, okay, so they got 2,600 acres altogether. God dang. uh, 2,000 acres from the Dominion government. Thus, Tranquillie, the sanatorium was born, with just a hop, skip, and a jump stateside. You can experience New York's most haunted. Oh, that was an advertisement. I'm a jackass. The hospital opened in 1907, and by 1910 it could house 49 patients and 12 employees. That's not very many employees. Attendance or 12 employees in attendance, 4 nurses. Eventually, the sanatorium had 360 beds. About half of those admitted to the sanatorium paid for their stay. It cost patients about $55 a month, with the average stay lasting for 200 days. So it cost you $55 a month, and it depended on how long you stayed there is how much you paid. At one point in the hospital's history, patients were not allowed to open their own mail, and even were made to work without pay. So they was making them do work and stuff and make stuff and not make any money off of it, which was seen as therapeutic. Food, money, clothing, and other items were prohibited from being brought to patients from the visitors. As the tuberculosis epic spread throughout the 1900s, a small community formed around the hospital, aptly named Tranquil after the sanatorium. Tranquil Sanatorium. The small town had gardens, houses, a gymnasium, a farm, a fire department, and more. There was common with the sanatorium was built in the Kirkbride style as a design influenced by Dr. Thomas' story, special type of design for the mental asylum, which are charged by which are characterized by their bat wing floor plan and sprawling grounds. Okay, this just tells about some of the sanatoriums. Who cares about them? I want to hear about the Tranquil. In 1958, the Tranquil Sanatorium closed its doors, but it reopened in 1959 to treat those with mental disabilities. It closed permanently in 1983, but briefly functioned as a detention center for young offenders until the 1990s. when its tenure serving the area finally ended in September of 1991. The president of A&A Foods bought the land to turn it into a resort and named it Padavaya City as a reminder of its homeland. There were plans in place for the demolish of the site, but interference from the government and some other local folks owned unrelated 1997 court case prevented his idea from coming coming to truth. You know, that's crazy. He was gonna just demolish everything and just fuck it. And I don't get that with people with money. They just come in and just take. I'm going to buy your land. Y'all can find somewhere else to live here. Here's money. You know, not knowing that that land was probably in their family's property for years. The abandoned site of the sanatorium is now fertile land used for agriculture and is known as Tranquillie Farm Fresh. Escape rooms and heritage tours are now offered at the old sanatorium. Some famous movies have even been filmed in the land, such as The 18 and Firewall. People from all over the world have sought out a visit to Tranquil, especially those interested in the haunts that are reported there. Said to be one of the Canada's most haunted locations, Tranquil Sanatorium has seen its fair share of death and dismay. Well, you got to think it was back when the tuberculosis days, and then it was an insane asylum for a little bit. So it probably has some dark history there. Because a lot of them places didn't treat their patients very nice at all. They were dicks to them. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. Where was it? Okay? People from all over the world have sought out a visit to Tranquil, especially in the interest of the. Okay, I already said all that. The tuberculosis claimed many lives at Tranquil. Tunnels that run under the property are said to have been used to only transport dry goods to the hospital, but to transport bodies, bodies out to the cemetery located on the property. This was believed to be better for the mental health of the patients still fighting the illness. It was thought that they should be subject to seeing corpses leaving the building on a daily basis, which makes sense because that was kind of a trending thing when they built these places for the tuberculosis. There's even some old sanatoriums here in America that they have tunnels leading out, you know, for goods and stuff. But it was most importantly it was for the bodies, because I mean that tuberculosis was killing people left and right. So I could understand that. Visitors to this sanatorium these days come looking for a touristy thrill, but are left with much more than what they bargained for. Some Patreons experience disembodied moans and groans that are certainly not part of the historic tour given to the hospital. And others have seen and reported seeing apparitions wandering the grounds, as well as orbs fluttering around the property and hallways of massive structures of I'm sorry, property in the hallways of the massive structure. The hauntings at Tranquil are reminiscent of the ones reported at uh, the Athens Asylum in Ohio. While many deaths occurred in and around the asylum, as few truly stand out, one tells of a patient named Margaret Schelling who disappeared on December 1st of 1978. It wasn't until January the following year that her body was discovered in a long abandoned ward where her autopsy showed she died of a heart failure. She was found completely named with her clothing neatly folded next to her. More interesting in the permanent stain that her body left behind. So her clothes were, she was naked and her clothes were folded by her, and her body like this colored the ground she was on. That's weird. Okay, where was I at? Yeah, her body stained the ground. That's crazy. Imprint, and it left an imprint on the floor, unable to be removed by numerous cleaning stuff. So it happened. Oh, it was in a room. Oh, okay, it was part of the abandoned ward. Yeah, and she was found in there. That's crazy though. Her man and her body stained the floor. Wow. Her spirit is said to be seen staring down from the window of the room where her body was found. She's also been seen attempting escaping, and is known the wanderer in the build to wander the building at night. So that one sounds pretty creepier out there. But I mean, that is strange how she died. Makes you wonder, man, because I've heard cases like that where they found their bodies and their clothes were folded neatly behind them. Other former patients are also said to have stayed behind, appearing as full-bodied apparitions standing in the empty wings of the former hospital. Disembodied voices, yells, squealing gurneys, strange lights, and screams are also known to be heard. It seems as if the echoes of its place are of the healing, and they are still heard. Regardless of the purpose the site serves now, the energies from the patients of the past remain at the Tranquillie Sanatorium. That one was pretty good. I will admit, I like that. But, I mean, it's always weird, though. In a place like that, with so much history, there's always something spooky wooky because they didn't treat their patients very nice back then. They were kind of dicks. So. Big buttheads. Mortals. All right, now the next two are Louisiana. Man, that one lasted pretty long. Let me take a break, wet the old whistle, and we will be right back with some scary stories. All right, guys. You know me, it's commercial time. Commercial time. Commercial time. So, is there any good scary movies y'all like? What's some of y'all's scariest movies y'all like? Y'all can always comment on it or leave a DM or something, man. All right, let me get my music up and we will get back to telling some stories. All right. All right. Okay. 3, 2, and well, I hope you like that commercial. Hope it didn't scare you. That's one of my other podcasts. All right, our next story is the Myrtle Plantation in Louisiana. Okay. Okay, the National Geographic Explorer film crew determined that the photograph definitely contained what appeared to be an apparition of what they believed to be was a slave girl. This slave girl appeared in a breezeway between the general store and the butler's pantry of the mansion. Okay, this is of the Myrtle Plantation, and there's its one famous picture they took, and you could clearly see a woman, a young black woman dressed back in them times like she was a slave, dressed like that in between the buildings, just clear as day. It's creepy. You ought to check it out. What was that? Okay. The horizontal entity boards of the mansion were clearly visible through the body of the apparition. National Geographic Explorer used the photograph in their documentary and suggested that a postcard should be made of the photograph. Mrs. Norman Bennett, a patient researchist, visited the Myrtle's plantation in May of 1995 and requested permission to research the postcard. After enlarging the postcard and doing a shadow density procedure, Miss Benoit discovered that all the physical measurements of the apparition were of a human figure are proportioned like a human. The conformation of the head and the length of the shoulders to the elbow and the length of the elbow to the wrist were all measured, uh, and they were like the same size of a human's. This postcard is referred to as the Chloe postcard. Okay, right. Okay, where we got? Do you see the other? Okay, this is starting out. This is starting out kind of weird. So if it starts out kind of bizarre, because this is supposed to be other strange happenings. Here are some other ghostly stuff, I guess, that has happened here. So, do you see the young girl dressed in? Do you see the young girl dressed in antebellum clothing, who appears to be peering out of the large window? She is standing in the window to the left of the white rocking chair. The young girl appears to be looking directly into the camera. Her eyes and her dress are clearly visible in the photograph. But what remains unclear is how this girl and how did she get there. She is referred to as the ghost girl of the Myrtle Plantation. The digital image was taken at the Myrtle Plantation and was sent to Dave Young of Palladian Paranormal for his opinion. Dave, and dear friend and supporter of the Myrtle Plantation, knew we would appreciate seeing the photo and learning the explanation behind it. Dave was amazed at what preceded itself in the photo and immediately sent it to one of their other professional friends, including the Society of Physical Research in bloody old England, founded in 1882. This is the oldest, most prestigious paranormal research group in the world. Excuse me. The photo was taken of a teacher and some other students on the courtyard at the Myrtle Plantation with a Sony cyber shot. Anyways, it was taken with a Sony camera. Without going into the technical explanation that included capitalizing the full-size life comparison system, shutter speed. Anyways, it's really describing the fucking camera. I could care less about getting into detail with the camera. Okay, the photograph contains to travel the world being thoroughly researched, but still without explanation. They still call her the ghost girl. Anyways, they say one of that girl, her name's Chloe. Well, what happened was she was a slave girl and she was in one of the inside girls. She worked inside. Well, she anyways, what am I doing? Anyways, she started feeling like she was gonna lose her spot. You know, she didn't want to. She liked being inside and taking care of the family. She didn't want to be sent back outside in the fields. So what she did is, the story goes that she put a little bit of poison or something, some kind of poison plant around the house or in the woods. Anyway, she got it. She was gonna put a little bit of it in there, just enough to get her his wife and daughter sick. Well, she fucked up and stuck too much in there, and it killed him. Well, uh, the owner, the woman's husband, found out her. I don't know. You can call him. He's not really her boss, but, and I don't like saying her owner because that's just not wrong, not right to say that. We'll just say her boss for now. Anyways, her boss, was mad, and I guess he found out, and a lynch party got together, and they hung her. Say her spirit still haunts the place, and that's who was in the picture that day. So, little fun fact for you. Thought you might like that. That story was okay, but it kind of went into detail more of that photograph instead of saying when it was built, who died there, and the stories. Next time I'll do a little bit more reading before I print something up. See, the reason I don't read it too much because I want to kind of be surprised and have organically here, like when y'all hear it. You know what I mean? So I'm sorry if I try to be a professional. I don't need this. Huh. Old notes. Well, I am going to get ready for the next story. Let's see what we got. Okay. All right. Well, I've got all my stuff ready for the next one. Let me take a quick break and get something to drink, and I'll be right back. All right, guys. Okay. Three, two, one, and. Well, I hope you like that little commercial. Our next story is Arnaud's restaurant in Louisiana. Matter of fact, it's in New Orleans, baby. Okay. In 1918, a French wine salesman named Arnold decided, not Arnold, but Arnaud decided to jump into thriving New Orleans restaurant industry. The result was Arnaud's, which today is one of the four restaurants in the world serving authentic Sorali cuisine, known collectively as the Great Damage, or the Great Demise. I'm sorry, I'm a dummy. The Great Demise. Not only does Arnold's have the largest kitchen in the city, it's the biggest restaurant in New Orleans to this day. In addition to the largest setting capacity, The restaurant also has 14 private dining rooms, a massive bar, and a Mardi Gras museum. But Arnaud's has a dirty secret. Behind the best oyster Benville in town are some of the tastiest ghosts New Orleans has to offer. I'm sorry, has some of the tastiest ghosts New Orleans has to offer. I didn't know ghosts were tasty. I knew they were scary. In addition to the okay, I already said that. I already said that. Okay, Count Arnaud, as he likes to be called, has been spotted wearing his favorite tuxedo while patiently observing the restaurant's operations. Despite the fact that he died in 1948, Count Arnaud still runs the restaurant from the afterlife. If he doesn't like something, he makes sure that he gets it fixed. He's been known to rearrange silverware and furniture to suit his liking. The Count's daughter, Germaine, Germania, also haunts the restaurant. She keeps an eye on the Mardi Gras Museum as it houses some of her favorite dresses. Guests and staff at the restaurant claim to occasionally see her ghost as misty apparition floating around the museum. She's also been spotted coming out of the ladies' room. Well, a girl's always got to tighten up, ladies and gentlemen, whether she's a ghost or a human. She's got to tidy up. Where am I at? Coming out of the back. Okay. Hey, ghost. Oh, her ghost has. What? Hey, ghost. Oh, it's being a funny. It said, hey, ghosts have to use the bathroom too. Anyways, the early days of Arnaud's. Arnaud's was a wine salesman from France trying to make it in the Big Easy. Dang it, pages are sticking. I didn't do it. He decided to get into the restaurant industry after seeing some of the bigwigs around town dropping serious cash at high-end restaurants. In 1918, he launched Arnaud's, his namesake Carly restaurant catering to the city's socialists. Despite being a garnered, garnered to the locals, Count Arnold attacked an international follow attracted an international following. Arnold's was profitable, very profitable, so much that they invested their money towards the restaurant expansion. Count Arnold began buying up addition, or agent. He started buying up properties to grow his business. He bought 13 other buildings on the block, many of them used as brothels and opium dens or or outer rate. I'm not going to say that. That's gross. Anyways, it was just makeshift doctors' offices, stuff like that. The slums of town. Well, he got it and turned it into the restaurant. He used the extra space to expand his kitchen, which today is still the largest kitchen in New Orleans. He also built a grand ballroom, several private dining rooms, and private corridors for his VIP guests. Unfortunately for the Count, Prohibition would pump the brakes on his business. Being a former wine salesman, the Count wasn't going to let legally get into the way of his culturally traditions. He he circumvented the laws by offering the customers coffee that they could get anywhere else. He used his private dining rooms and hidden back doors and bars and rooms as safe spaces where his customers would drink freely. Eventually, the long nose of the law sniffed out Arnold's hidden speakeasies. The Count was arrested and his restaurant shut down and padlocked. He fought the allegations in court and won, just in time for the end of probation. Arnold's really took off during the thundering 30s. It became the leading restaurant in New Orleans, leaving the competition far behind it is in its wake. The city's business class made it their go-to spot for work lunches, Friday night dinners, and it was a must for out-of-towners who uh, who came to Arnold's for the taste of the real New Orleans. Arnold had over 50 items on the menu, including 9 different preparations of oysters and 16 different styles of potato dishes. Holy shit. Uh, Count Arnold wanted the menu to appeal to foodies and casual diners alike. After the devastation of World War II, Arnold's began to attract a different type of customer. As Europe was in shambles, they well off decided to leave their worn, torn countries and travel the globe. The unique cultures of New Orleans and the French Quarter attracted many expands looking to lighten up their darkness of the war. The city became an international tourist destination, and Arnold's was on the list of must-to-see places. Unfortunately, the Count's health was in decline. He passed away in 1948, just a few months before his 72nd, birthday. His daughter Carmine Arnold was given the keys to the kingdom. Despite her boisterous personality, she ran the restaurant like a well-oiled machine. She was known for her hated her heavy-handed tactics, which were a result of her desire to uphold her father's reputation. Even though she did not have the business savvy like her dad did. One needed to run a restaurant. She knew theater. Grammy. Gar- Anyways, the daughter used her expressions on stage to give her the motivation to keep the ship afloat. In 1978, she sold the restaurant to the Gasparano family. Why, the question is difficult to answer. It wasn't a legal decision, but the outcome couldn't have been better. While the daughter constantly got offers from several business people who wanted to purchase the restaurant, she settled the on Archie Casabran. Casabran. Firstly, while she did not want to sell the restaurant, she was forced to sell to remain financially solvent. Oh, so she was going broke. God, what a retard. Blew her money. They had the same they had the same initials, smoked the same cigars, and the same facial features, and spoke French fluently. Archie knew how to run a business, and he had been running hotels in Gario, New York, and New Orleans for decades. By the time he bought Arnaud's, it was beginning to fall apart. He restored the restaurant to its original grandeur. He reinvented. Anyways, he redid the original furnishings. He redid the original furnishings from the from the tables to the chairs to the chandeliers, all the way down to the original ceiling fans. Arnaud's is now the fourth generation Casbaran management. So 4 generations of its family has owned its restaurant. That's only the second family to own its restaurant in its history. That's pretty cool. That's something to be proud of. The restaurant survived Hurricane Katrina and was one of the first restaurants to reopen after the storm, even offering a full menu upon reopening. Today, Arnold's is one of the fourth grand. Anyways, it's one of the fourth places along with Broussard's and Antonio's and Glatori's to go visit while in New Orleans. Now let's go over the ghost of the place. In the spirit of New Orleans, you can have a meal at Arnold's without someone's spooky visitors. Even though the Count passed away in 1948, he spends nearly half a century watching over the restaurant's operations. Apparently he does not want any mistakes that might tarnish his name. Even though the Carabans are now the rightful owners of the restaurant, everyone knows that behind the scenes, the count is the real one running the show. Well, like I said, a lot of these ghosts, they're got such a passion for something or a place, and that's their routine. They do that every day, and they get stuck in that routine. And when they die, they get that's gonna suck. If that's really how it is when you die. Can you, fuck, doing the same thing, waking up, reliving the same crap? Okay, the count can be seen in the corners of the restaurant, out of the way, but still keeping a watchful eye. He prefers to stand at the far left corner of the main dining room when things are really busy. He appears as a tall man with a mustache and tuxedo, and seems like a normal staff member or guest at first glance. He's always smiling, seamlessly satisfied with the smooth operation of his namesake and establishment. Don't let his smile fool you, though. What the fuck? Why did you have to do this right now? Really? Sorry, guys. I got some technical difficulties right in the middle of while I'm recording. Yeah, this motherfucker decided to do that. Son of a bitch. Where was I at? Don't let his smile fool you. Yeah, don't let his smile fool you, though. The count is mm, the count is quite strict. Even from the afterlife, he feels the need to still watch over his restaurant and its affairs. If something isn't right, you better be sure that he will fix it. The accountant has been known to rearrange tables, chairs, silverware, furniture, and if it's not up to his standards, some of the staff members even blame the ghost of the count for broken dishes and restaurant mishaps. So, you piss him off, shit ain't running too right, he's still gonna come over there and smack the plate out of your face. So, the daughter is more commonly seen floating around the Mardi Gras Museum. She was known to lead her own parade during the Mardi Gras, if only to show off her new dresses. Those same outfits are kept in the museum, and rumor has it that she keeps an eye on them and makes sure no one messes with them. That's creepy. The bar was one of the many buildings bought by the count to expand his restaurant. It turns out that Louis in particular was an opium den when Arnold purchased it. Many staff members claim that temperatures in the bar are known to drop dramatically at random. They attribute the phenom to the spirits of the opium den of the opium addicts who were angry at the loss of their favorite drug house. It may be, you never know. Well, that was it for that story. So that one's got a lot of spooky stuff. Man, I don't know if that'd be crazy working at a place like that, because you see a lot of old restaurants like that on these shows that are like haunted. That's crazy. I don't know what I would do if I came in across something like that. I've seen something before, but it was startled me. But if I really had something touch me or just look at me, I'd be like, "What the?" Yeah, but they say this guy still keeps watch over his restaurant and stuff. So, and his daughter apparently sits there and watches over the dresses that she loves so much when she was alive. But it's cool that they keep it traditional. They keep the look of it traditional and stuff. That's pretty cool. I like that. And then they keep her dresses up in the museum. That's awful nice of them. Awful nice. Well, guys, I don't know about you, but it's late. I'm scared. And I need to go night. But I need to wrap this up, get it edited, get it ready for you guys in the morning. Don't forget, check out the YouTube. Check us out on Ghost on Facebook. Ghost Stories Told from the South. You can get this podcast pretty much on any platform now: Spotify, Pandora, Amazon, YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, Anchor. I mean, we're pretty much everywhere now, guys. So you can pick us up anywhere. I want to say thank you guys for listening around the world. You guys don't forget hit that subscribe button and download some stuff for me. Be good to Stephen LeBooth, please. But yeah, you guys are doing good. But come on, man. We need to get a little bit more downloads, a little bit more followers, guys. Keep spreading the word about my good show I try to do. But I hope my readings sometimes don't sound too stinky. Blah, blah. So, but you guys check us out on all them platforms if you want, or check us out anywhere. Go check out the YouTube. Sometimes I do videos, sometimes I don't. But you guys on YouTube, hit the subscribe button too. Tell your friends. But I guess that's about it. Just want to say thank you once again, guys. Y'all are making me feel good. Whenever I have a bum day, I like coming in here and doing my podcast, telling ghost stories. But I'm going to get on out of here. You guys be good, be real. This has been Stephen LeBooth from Ghost Stories Told from the South. You be creepy now and don't get too scared tonight when you go to bed. See you later. Oh, crap. Hey, guys. Thank you for listening, and I do that every time. I forget to fucking sound off. But you guys be good, be real. We'll see you later. This has been Ghost Stories Told from the South. Check you later, ma'am. Bye.